Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a new episode of One Mic where I watch shit so you don't have to. Today I'm here to talk about the penultimate episode of season 1 of WandaVision entitled Previously On. I actually called it the season 1 of WandaVision, but I think I saw an article yesterday saying that there's not a season 2 planned, which kind of makes sense, right? This doesn't feel like something that's meant to be prolonged over several seasons. This kind of feels like almost like a transition piece from phase one to phase one was the first set of what are they even calling the Infinity Saga? Yes, that's the name of it. This was more like a transition from the Infinity Saga to whatever they're gonna call the next phase or saga of the MCU. This feels like that sort of transition. But one thing I find interesting about WandaVision is that regardless of how you feel about those first two episodes, and I'm already on record with how I felt about the first two, and that's not going to change. But regardless of how you feel about those first two episodes, you can't say that this show isn't willing to take risks. This is a show that's willing to challenge you. This is a show that's smart. This is a show that is pretty brave in a lot of the things that it's attempting to do, and a lot of its concepts, and a lot of what it's putting on TV. Like a lot of this kind of stuff hasn't really been seen before. So if anything, you can definitely call WandaVision a brave show, willing to take risks and willing to do things that are challenging and different. That's why I found this episode kind of surprising. So in this episode, basically this is the kind of like our second information dump. Episode 4 was our first one where we kind of found out what was happening in Westview exactly. Because prior to that, all we had seen was the sitcom stuff, and then we kind of came into light everything that was actually going on present day. This week's episode was another information dump that gave us background on Wanda's motivations. What made her decide to do the entire Westview thing? Where did this come from emotionally? Why these specific sitcoms? This gave us all of that background stuff that was going on in Wanda's head that prompted the entire start of the events of the television show in the first place. And what was strange to me was that for a show that has been not just willing, but has, I can't say encouraged, but has, I will say encouraged, but has encouraged its viewers to think more. It's been willing to challenge its viewers a little bit. Well, a lot, actually. It's been willing to challenge its viewers a lot. For a show that has not treated its viewers like idiots and has been willing to challenge them a lot, I found this episode to be a strange kind of diversion from that. I like information dump episodes. I know a lot of people don't. They kind of feel like, they kind of like things to play out in a way where you learn what you need to know throughout the course of events kind of naturally, as opposed to just going, here's why things are happening, or here's what happened before. I don't mind information dump episodes, but what I do mind, and what I didn't like about this episode, was the hand holding that we got here. And this was a very literal hand holding. Like, this was like me holding my 2-year-old daughter's hand, because if I don't, she might fall down or run off. This is Agatha literally holding Wanda's hand and walking us, the viewer, through all of Wanda's motivations. And I found that very strange. And it was very overt. Like, this wasn't like where it's like you're watching these things happen. It's like, oh, okay, that makes sense. It was like, it literally was narrated by Agatha to a point where we see what happened in the past. And then Agatha goes, so to recap, I think she literally says that at one point, so to recap. And like after every room that they move into that gives us more information, Agatha kind of like tells us again what actually happened. Like, in case you didn't understand what you watched, here is what happened. And I found that to be very off-putting for a show that has been so willing to challenge its viewers throughout the course of the show's run. But that quibble aside, we did get a whole lot of interesting information, and we really gave, well, we didn't do this, but the show really gave Elizabeth Olsen the opportunity to do a lot of interesting work. I really liked what she did toward the end of the episode, where we start to see that her devastation and how she responds to the devastation, the loss of Vision, how that helped create Westview, and at least what we see as Westview in the show anyway. and we know prior to the show, obviously we knew the relationship that Wanda and Vision had, but what we didn't know was Wanda's relationship with loss. And I think that's the big theme of this episode. And we got to see, like, this wasn't just a one-time thing, like, oh, Wanda's upset about the loss of Vision. This is a theme throughout her life, like these moments of big loss. And this really gave Elizabeth Olsen the chance to really show what she can do at the end of the episode, in particular, showing that devastation and just coming to grips with the life that Vision had planned for her and how it never came to fruition, and how much that broke her, given the losses of her parents, the loss of her brother, and whatnot. So I thought this episode gave Elizabeth Olsen a lot to do. It did give us a lot of information, which we needed this information. By no means am I saying this should not have been an information dump, or that we didn't need this information. It's just, I just found it very odd that a show that's been so willing to challenge its viewers really held our hands through this one. And I was almost insulted. Like, you think I don't fucking understand this? Like, I don't need Agatha to run this back for me again. Like, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting episode. We learned that I forgot, Haywood. Is it Haywood or Hayward? I can't even remember. I think it's Haywood. We learned in the mid-credit scene. So again, another mid-credit scene this week, that he has rebuilt Vision. Now, I'm curious as to what form Vision will take in the finale. And I'm not going to presume to guess what that will be, or what Vision's role will be going forward, if that role exists. But I think that with this episode did not advance the current day plot at all. We didn't see Monica. We didn't see Kat Dennings, Darcy. We didn't see Wu, and even Haywood. We only saw in the mid-credit scene, present day, and we saw him in the past in the episode. So this didn't advance the current day plot at all, which means there's kind of a lot to wrap up in this finale. Like, we still don't know she still doesn't have her kids back, although Agatha does have them, but she doesn't have her kids back. And we still have to wrap up everything that's going on in Westview. We're now going to have to see what this reconstructed Vision is going to be like. I'm actually still kind of curious too, as to how, and I think this is still Wanda's subconscious, because, like, Wanda created this world, right, to help deal with the loss of Vision. So the people who lived in Westview prior to her arrival, who are now under her control, had their own lives and personalities prior to Wanda arriving, that are just being contained within this structure that she has built, both structure for them and structure as in Westview as a whole. But Vision doesn't have that. And I find it interesting still that this version of Vision that Wanda created cannot leave the Hex, but also is not under her control. And I think that is shown. I think that is shown in this episode in particular to be a choice that Wanda made. And they don't. This is something they don't overtly say, but I think that those people who lived there already, they didn't have a choice, right? You know, she came by and she said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this to this town, and this is where Vision and I are gonna set up our life as he wanted." But she created Vision, but this isn't the same Vision. It can't be. There's no Mind Stone. She didn't create him from. We thought she created him literally from his body that she took, but she never took the body. So the Vision that she created was entirely created from her own mind, but it still has its own free will. And I wonder, like, I don't wonder, I believe that was a choice that Wanda made, probably subconsciously, because she wanted to live with Vision as opposed to live with a Vision that she had control over, because that's not Vision. That's just a figment of her imagination. And I think if she gives Vision that free will and that ability to move and think as Vision normally would, then it's going to feel really like she's living with Vision. So I think they did a lot of good work there, and that was a little bit more kind of like reading between the lines type shit. So lots of good stuff to like about this episode. My only real issue with it was the hand holding, but and I'm still really baffled by that decision. Like, they could have just literally just not had Agatha do these like scene recaps, and in my opinion, the episode would have been much better. But that's not my way of saying that the episode is shitty. I don't think it's shitty at all. But that's just my one issue. I think a lot of people right now are in this kind of like WandaVision mode where the show can do no wrong, and I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to heap praises upon it because I think it makes me look more sophisticated or some bullshit like that. I'm here to tell you what I saw and how I feel about it, and I think that if you're someone who is particularly one of those people who was really on their high horse about those first 2 episodes with your fucking monocle on and shit, like, oh, this is such brilliant fucking artistry, and you should be someone who also has that same issue with the hand holding in this episode. So I'm just here to tell you what I saw. I'm not gonna heap praises upon it if I see issues, and it is what it is. I found that to be a little off-putting and a surprising decision by the show, considering how challenging and how willing to take risks it has been to this point. So next week is the finale. We know that there's going to be some sort of big character reveal, right? Because Paul Bettany's already said that there's a big character reveal coming, that the Evan Peters one was not it. So we know the finale is going to have a big reveal. We know we have to wrap up everything that's going on in Westview since we didn't touch on it at all in this episode. So I'd be surprised if that episode's not 45 minutes around, give or take, maybe an hour. I don't know. But we've been, for some reason, telling ourselves that we were going to get hour-long episodes, and now we're at the finale and we haven't had one yet. So I think it's pretty safe to assume we won't be getting an hour-long episode. But hey, who knows? So I'll be back next week to talk about the finale. If you haven't watched, I'll be starting, actually I have started already, week-by-week coverage of FX's Snowfall. You can find that on this channel. I did a video for the first 2 episodes, which FX put out on Wednesday. That's already up on the channel. I'll be doing week-by-week coverage of Snowfall each week. I'll have week-by-week coverage of Falcon and Winter Soldier when that drops on March 19th. And I think that might be it as far as week-by-week coverage. Coming up, just in general, I'm going to have a video for the little things to come out, but I kind of got thrown off with Snowfall and this, and watching The Lighthouse. Watch that video, by the way, and then watch that movie. And then I've got Gamora Season 3 recap coming. I just finished that up. What else? That might be it right now in the tank. As far as like what I've seen, I'll be starting Gamora Season 4 soon. Let's see. It's my wife's turn to pick a movie, so we'll be starting that soon. I'm probably going to start Cobra Kai at some point fairly soon. I'm probably going to start. What was the other thing? I can't forget. I forget what it was, but still a lot more things coming down the pike. So look forward to that. Rate, comment, share, subscribe, all that good shit. I'll see you guys next Friday for the finale. Hopefully it's a complete mind blower, and we'll be ready to head back to the MCU with the official MCU cinematic universe with Black Widow in May. And I think we get Shang-Chi this year as well, or is it the Eternals? I forget which one we get this year, or is it both? I don't recall. And then Spider-Man: No Way Home, we had the title revealed yesterday, I believe. So Spider-Man: No Way Home coming out in December. So really, really, really big year for Marvel. They announced, also they announced that the Loki show is coming. The Loki show sounds like that's like the name of it. It's not like a game show or some shit. It's just called Loki. The show about Loki is coming June 11th. So big year for Disney Plus and for Marvel. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.